Hello and welcome to another Writerly Witterings. Today I'm going to be talking about a very strange product which I'm not going to try to pronounce right now because I'll probably get it wrong. But first, I had a disaster this week. This bottle of Israel Zerblau was almost full at the beginning of the week, and I refilled my pen here just once, left the ink on my desk with the cap on, and the damn thing slid down my writing desk while I was out of the room, hit the floor, the cap snapped and flew off, and I had an eruption, a geyser of Israel Zerblau all over one Rhodesian Ridgeback, a whole bunch of my books, and particularly the carpet. Have a look at this. Now look at these happy little dogs, quite content and happy. But this is the scene of the disaster. As you can see from the ink on the bedding, the fading leopard-print hound, but rather more the disastrous scene of the ink that poured out and exploded upwards at all of my books. So there we go. It is easy, apparently, for a Jex to make a complete mess of his floor, his dog, and the dog's beds and his books, even when he's managed to put the lid on his ink bottle perfectly. Very sad story, because I've got two inks that I really like to use. One's Delftsblau from Ackermann, the other one is that Israel Zerblau. And neither of them is available right now because of this flaming virus, which has meant that the nice people who make this ink can't get hold of the bottles or the ingredients they need for their ink, so there's nothing available. So I'm just going to have to wait. I do hope in The Hague that they soon get over this flaming virus so that I can get hold of some more ink apart from anything else. Right, now, what am I talking about today? Well, some time ago, I was sent this, and I didn't know what on earth it was. It came from a nice fellow in San Diego who sent me a variety of different things, and I stared at this quite a lot, wondering what on earth it was for. Smoothed that side, slightly roughened and textured that side. Don't know why, but I couldn't figure out what it was for until one day I realised, and I can't think how I realised, but I did, that it was actually designed so that when you are using a notebook, using a pencil with a very sharp nib or a biro, very often you'll find it goes right through and makes a horrible mess of the page following with lots of dents. But if you use one of these, it stops any dents going through. Now, isn't that simple, elegant, and rather delightful? Those Japanese are jolly clever chaps with this sort of thing. There's only one problem, and that is, if you use one of these designed to be an A5 thing, it sticks out. Now, you can cut it down, that's fine. You could possibly cut it down enough so that it fits in the little wallet at the back of your Leuchtturm or Moleskine. You could. There is another problem though, which is it's actually rather extraordinarily fat. It's, I think, 2.5 millimetres thick, which isn't much, but when you put it in your notebook, it takes up a lot of space, doesn't it? But if there's one thing that's guaranteed, it is that Japanese chaps are very clever. Now, a nice lady, Michelle, thank you Michelle, sent me a Hobonichi version the other day. So what does the Hobonichi version have about it? It has a certain degree of elegance because it is an awful lot thinner. Let's just see if I can demonstrate that with the camera. It's always useful if you can illustrate what you're saying, isn't it? So let's just look at these two side by side, and you will probably be able to see instantly that the two are very different. I would say this Hobonichi version is considerably less than a millimetre thick. Certainly, when I put it in a notebook, as I will demonstrate, it doesn't mess things up anything like as much as when I put in this older one, which is sort of silicon or something similar. You can see there, I think, the sort of difference. If I just pull this out slightly, so they're side by side, you can see the gap on this older one is much fatter than the gap on the Hobonichi. So, I like this, Michelle, thank you very much. What is it about this that is really effective? Well, the first thing is, it's got a ruler. I like that. It's just a simple thing, but it makes life easier. You can run your pen as well as your pencil straight down that. It has a tab, so you can have it stuck in at wherever is the current date. It's thin enough, I think, that I could cut out the relevant slots and have it fitting in my William Hanna. That's very appealing. What else has it got? It has a grid on it. Now, it won't show through William Hanna paper. I know that because William Hanna paper is enormously thick. It's 115, I think, GSM. But that could be used with much thinner paper, for example. If I used that in my notebook, which uses Tomo River, that will certainly show through. So it gives you lines that you can use sensibly when you're using very fine paper. And apart from anything else, I think it's just a really elegant, simple, very Japanese style of simple solution for a slight difficulty, which is if you want something that's going to have a tab on it so that you know exactly where you are on a particular day, and you don't want to go through and make a horrible mess of the next page, this is a simple, elegant solution. I really like that. Now, the other thing I would say, though, is having looked at this has a smooth side here and a textured side here. I'm just thinking, if I put my bottle of ink on this, it would be far less likely to slide off my desk. It'll stick. You can see how easy that is to move. But that's not moving. So all of a sudden, I've managed to tie together two little things. I've tied together my disaster of losing all of my Israel Zeblau together with a Shitajike. I think that's, or Shitajike, I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Japanese, okay? I don't talk Japanese. I can pronounce things in Dutch and German, but that's about my limit. But these two, absolutely superb little items. This, I think, is going to get the holes cut out and will be used in my William Hanna all the time. This, I think, might well just stay on my writing desk here to stop things sliding off it. And so, with two Shitajikes, I'm having to look at it every time I have to say it, because it really is one of those things that is the sort of word you could get into problems with. But a pencil mat, whatever it might be, you could call it a pencil mat, I think. But now I know one of them is a cure for my disasters, because I'm watching it, but it's sitting there stationary, it's not sliding off my desk. And the other one's going to be a very useful add-on to my William Hanna. Thank you very much to Michelle for that. And now I'm going to have to go and get a cup of tea. I should just tell you, this is that terrible time of year. I do not believe in going dry for January. I keep on drinking, but I don't drink on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday or a Thursday. I save it all up, because Mondays and Wednesdays my wife and I try the 5-2 diet, Today is a Wednesday, recording this, so this being lunchtime, I am now quite peckish. But I can't eat anything because that would be bad. I've got to get rid of the excess weight that I developed in quarantine in New Zealand and over Christmas. Now, thanks a lot for watching. If you enjoyed that, don't forget there's a link to Patreon and PayPal, and you can help support the channel if you wish. But if you don't wish to do that, at the very least, do hit the... That was a tractor with a trailer. Do hit the subscribe and then the bell button so you get notified when there's a new video coming through. And don't forget to hit the like it, because that helps the channel with the algorithms and everything else. It puts me up the scale. And apart from that, just leave me in peace. I need a cup of tea because I've got a book to finish this month. I've got another book I've got to edit next month. I've got a third book which is coming back for another edit. I've got 2 other books which are mostly written but need to be corrected. I've got to write a next blackjack book, plus I've got to write a modern day crime thriller, and I've also been asked if I'd collaborate with another book, plus I've got 5 articles I've got to write this week. See you later. Bye.